Welcome back everyone, welcome back viewers, welcome back knights. Today we are looking at Lapras, the water type monster. Everybody in Summoner's War gets a Lapras. Lapras is the water attacker that you get after you beat the boss of the second stage. And Mount Sis, or Zis, or whatever it was. First thing, what are my notes on Lapras? Well, Lapras' speed is 60. 60 speed is super low in this game. You're going to have a tough time. Wait, we're not doing Lapras? Well, who are we doing? Oh, honest mistake. Lapis, the water attacker. Same thing. Oddly enough, same problem. I was just joking. I had to. Forgive me in the start. But Lapis does have some of the lowest speed in Summoner's War. The Magic Knights do. But we'll get to that later when we cover more stats. But I wasn't lying when I said you do get her. Everybody in the game gets the Water Magic Knight from beating the second stage. Unless I'm forgetting, and getting that wrong, mixed up with something. But I'm pretty sure. Regardless, everybody gets a Lapis, the Water Magic Knight. So, what are Lapis' skills and how can we use her to our advantage? You might notice as a new player and you have your friends list and they have the rep monsters at the bottom when you're in battle, that everybody's rep monster is Lapis because it's the first 4-star that a lot of people get. Is she the greatest thing? No, she's not the greatest 4-star monster, but as a new player she is awesome. And here's the thing about, there's a thing about how to rune her, but we'll look at her skills first and go over them. So attack monster, real quick. Blade Surge, attack a single target for 2 times, and then attacks all enemies on the 3rd attack. So that means this monster hits everybody on the field on the enemy side at least once with her main skill. That's awesome. What does her second skill do? Shoots 4 magic bullets that seek enemies with low HP ratio. So the weaker the enemy's health, the more she's going to go for it. This skill has a 50% chance to disturb the target's HP recovery for 2 turns. That's great for healing bosses or healing enemies in the arena. Healing bosses such as the Hall of Wind boss. And then, of course, in the arena, any healer. So any monster that has a team that has a healer. And we all get our first or second monster's a healer. So everybody's arena defense team has a healer. And if they don't, it's probably not doing that well, or it's not meant to for farming reasons. 3rd skill, Retrieve Magic. This one's cool. Steals the magic power from all enemies, recovering HP according to the damage dealt. Also increases 30% of the attack bar for every enemy killed. So if you kill an enemy with this attack, which if I remember right, it is your hardest hitting attack, you're going to get another turn sooner by 30%, which is great. So what did we notice here? She's an attack monster. Through all of her attacks, hit all enemies. Maybe not with the second one because 4 magic bullets. Sometimes you could have 5 enemies, right? So, or more if you go into the secret dungeons. Anyways, so they all hit. So not really much support going on. The only one that really has any debuffs or buffs, for that matter, at all, is the second skill, which is the HP recovery disturb, which is, like I said, nice for bosses and stuff. Leader skill, increase the attack power of all ally monsters by 25% everywhere. That's a great leader skill. That means it doesn't only apply in dungeons or in arena or in guild battles. It's everywhere, and it's not just water type or whatever type the leader is. So she's great for that leader skill at the start if you want to get a harder hitting team. So here's the thing. We might have noticed with all our skills that Lapis has multiple hits across all skills. Now as a new player, you're kind of at a loss because for runes, we'll go into that now. What are the best runes for Lapis? Well, I'll tell you right now, they're not on this monster right now because I stole Lapis's runes to give to Lynette, who is the Dark Magic Knight. Now, a few months ago, there was a Hall of Heroes for the Dark Magic Knight, and I put mine in storage, and I left her there. And this is the runes that I had on Lapis are now on her, and you might see something. I'd still have some crappy layabout garbage runes on her, but it's still the same despair runes, and that's what I have on both my Magic Knights, and that's because they have multiple hits with their attacks. There she is. Now, here's the thing. A new player, despair runes are tough to come by, at least good ones. You farm despair runes from the Hall of Giants, and they might not always drop. And so what are your better options for her if you just get her as a brand new player? Probably not despair unless you're really lucky and you get the ones you need. You're probably going to want to focus on... I should not use focus in my vocabulary when I talk about runes, just because there's focus runes. But you should probably think most about Fatal and Blade, I think. Because you want Lapis to be doing the most possible damage with her leader skill on top. And so you're going to want attack or speed, depending on if you get a good speed rune. You're going to want attack again, or crit damage, or crit rate if that's all you have. But mostly attack and crit damage. And on your 6th slot, you're going to want attack percent again. You don't have to worry about accuracy here, because while that HP, energy disturb, or recovery disturb for the enemy is great, I think it's more important for Lapis to do as much damage as she can, and she's going to get a chance to use that anyway. So, I guess I forget it's backwards. On 2, attack percent or speed. On 4, you're going to want crit damage or attack percent first, and then if that you don't have one, then go for a crit rate percent. And if you don't have any of those and you want to get a set together, because you want a despair set or whatever, you could do HP or something. But Lapis being the attack monster that hits all enemies, you want her doing maximum damage. And she heals herself a little bit with her 3rd skill, right? So HP is... it's only nice if she's getting hit a lot. And then up on slot 6, again, attack percent for sure, number 1. And same thing, if you had an attack percent for 4, but you didn't have one for 6, all you have is an HP percent, that's fine too. So these are not great runes. These are actually really bad runes. They're all 4-star. Well, they're not awful, but they're all 4-star and maybe some 5-star runes. They were just old ones that... it was free rune removal day, and they're from some old monster from storage. I keep finding old runes that I upgraded a millennia ago that should never have been at... but back then they were great. Now they're not so great. But that's the curve of the game, right? So that's how you would go about her, I would say. I recommend a Fatal Blade set until you get Despair. Now, when you can get a good set of Despair runes on her, what are the other 2 that we want? Well, there's lots of options. Now, any 2, really. So if you have your Despair, which can't believe I didn't say that, but Despair's a thing. If you get, it's a set of 4, so you have to have any 4 Despair runes on. Any hit now has a plus 25% chance to stun. Now that means if the skill doesn't stun, it does now with a 25% chance. Now there's accuracy check balances it has to go through. It's not just a 1 in 4 chance. It depends on your accuracy, the enemy's resistance percentage, all that stuff. But at least it means you can stun. And with a monster that hits multiple targets with every attack, Despair is the best way to go with this monster, in my opinion. And most Magic Knights are Rune Despair. It's tough to find ones that aren't. I've seen some that are all Blade, which is weird, but... another great thing for Lapis is Revenge runes, because her first skill, attacking everybody, and especially if you have Despair on her, so Despair Revenge. Despair, of course, having, I think it's a 12% chance. Where are my Despair runes? I went over that. Oh, no, not Despair. Revenge. I'm blind. There they are. Blur. 2 runes. Gives you counterattack of plus 15%. So if Lapis is attacked, or any monster that you have 2 revenge runes on, plus 15% chance to automatically counterattack. Now, if you have Despair on her, that means she could automatically stun with a counterattack. That makes her even more versatile. Lapis is not the best monster for arena attack or arena defense, from what I've found. Now, you'll still see her from time to time, but she just, later in the game, does not do enough damage to be incredibly useful. She's only really used in arena on attack teams as crowd control when she has that set of Despair runes on her. So that's pretty good for her. Where is she best? I found her best in the dungeons, and I haven't taken her in because mine's not strong enough and I have the runes off of her. You could use her for the new raids. I haven't done a video on the raids, and I haven't done a video since the raids come out. This is the first one. I had to redo this video. It just vanished off my computer. I must have deleted it, not being happy with it or something. But, so yeah, if you're doing the raids, which are the Rift of Worlds, I don't know, there's probably better... Oh, that's the wrong place, not Macau's Dungeon, the Rift of Worlds. There's going to be better monsters than Lapis for this, but you can use, because HP recovery disturb is very important for these bosses. You don't want them healing. So you can put them on a team for that, but by the time you're strong enough to get into the raids, you're going to want something different, right? So, enough of that. Let's get back to her here. What else didn't I cover? Oh yeah, I did say that right at the start of the video, but it's very important, and I want to go over this again. Lapis has awful speed. 90 is some of the lowest speed for a monster base in the game. Let's go look again at Lynette is this one's name. She has even worse speed. That means a speed rune on slot 2 or good speed substats is very important. You don't have to, but I mean, why have a monster that's not going to attack at all or very often, right? So here's my 6-star speed rune there. I wish I could change these 2 out, and you can now. Some of the stones that you can gain from those raids we just looked at, you can convert those substats now into whatever the stones you get, as long as they're for the right rune type. So not so much a worry of these anymore, this flat HP and flat defense. We can switch those out. There's 12 more speed there. That's a great rune. No more speed there. 5 more speed there. No more there. Where's it gotta be? Oh, here's 10 here. So I really worried about speed on these runes. I should almost take these runes and put them on my Tyran. I had this monster, and then I got a Tyran a little while ago. And I've been putting crap runes on Tyran because I don't need him on my teams, but he would be super helpful on my teams if I would get him to 6-star, which I will. The last 6-star I just made was Vertiheel, so that's the Fire Vampire. Really, really useful. So, anyways, it's so easy to get distracted on these videos. So, yeah, that's my take on Lapis. Great leader skill if you can get her on your team. I mean, you can use her in the arena. It's not like you can't. It's just eventually you're going to replace her with better stuff. So that's kind of her. Awakening takes a good amount of essences from the Hall of Water and the Hall of Magic. Skill ups, quite a few skill ups, which you're not going to get too many Magic Knights summoned. Now, if you do, you could give them to her as food, but what I would really recommend is you not feed this monster Devilmon. Now, I haven't given her any. It's because I have so much other stuff I want to give my Devilmon to. But if you want a recommendation, I would not scale up this monster with Devilmon. I think they're better used in other places. So maybe we could do a little attacking with her, and I can show you. I don't think she would do well in Vorophicus runes by herself, but let's have a look just to show you how every skill hits multiple times. Ooh, carbonated drink. So that was her third skill. Oh, and that's what I was going to say too. Another thing you could do with her, because she does put out, you know, okay amount of damage if you have her runed correctly, and her third skill already has a life drain, you could rune her with vampire runes. Vampire Revenge would be great to make her a good farmer. Some people would argue that because she already has vampire built in. That's like saying putting Despair runes on Tyrant's stupid because he already has a freeze. You know, I like putting vampire runes on monsters that already have life drain effects just to make them steal more life from your enemies. But that's just my personal preference on Lapis. So yeah, I don't know, that pretty much covers it. Don't need to, I'm trying to think if there's any other rune types that she would really excel with. No, I think that's your best bets though. Is Fatal, and then Vampire, and then Despair, in that order of third, second, first of the best runes for her. So that's it for Lapis, the Water Magic Knight. I hope this was useful to you. If you have any questions about Lapis, post them in the comments. I will do my very best to answer for you. Have you got some of the other Magic Knights, and how do you think they stack up to Lapis? I think Lynette is superior to Lapis for Necropolis, which actually, sorry, Lapis is great in the Necropolis. I can't believe I skimmed over that. Use her in there if you'd like. It stops the Necropolis boss from healing himself, as well as it gets you those multiple hits in to bring down his shield. I can't believe I forgot that. Oh man. So yeah, number one place for Lapis is Necropolis, and then for farming, I would say that's mine. And Lynette just looked better for it than Lapis because she does the HP. It stops your enemies from healing, the recovery disturb. It also does damage proportionate to the enemy's max HP, which is, I mean, the bosses have lots, right? So that's why I think Lynette's got the better runes. I took them off of her. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for episode 7 of Beginner's Guide, where we'll talk about skilling up your monsters a little more. Until then, we'll see you around. Hey everyone, you want to see? I got a 5-star natural monster, Shazam, the Light Beast Monk. Here she is. I heard the internet likes cats. What's up, Knights? Today we are doing, not Shazam, I was just kidding. I didn't get a Nat 5, although one of the people on my friends list, who is level 16, has 2 natural 5-star monsters. Talk about luck of the draw. Not even fair. Not